We can just open it up for questions right away. Does anybody have anything they'd like to? Yes. Yeah, no, you.
You've worked with Stuart Staples and Tindersticks for many, many films now. I've lost track.
7.
7. Well, that's a lot. I wonder if you talk about the structure of the collaboration and how it's evolved. I mean, does he see footage, or, I mean, how do you guys work together? What's the process?
Okay. So the first film was Nanette and Bonnie, and I sent him the script because he had wrote a song called My Sister, and I wanted permission to use the song in the film. And he was giving a concert in Paris. It's the first time. And he told me, look, I know, I think it's not a good idea, but the band and me, we don't know what is music for film, so let's work on the film, because if you borrow a song, it's not fun for us. So that's how it started. But it started in such a nice way, you know. They came during the shooting in Marseille. They wanted to see some shooting. They liked Marseille. They came in the editing room. They came with, at that time we were watching film on videotape, and they brought the video tape machine, because they thought in France we had no videotape, you know, in a big suitcase. No, it's a joke, but it was a very shy encounter, because all of them, they're from Nottingham, and they have a very strong accent. And to be very honest for you, during 3 films, maybe until The Intruder, when Stuart was speaking to me, I understood nothing. And I was totally trusting him, so I kept saying yes, not knowing what he was saying. But I think he also never understood my English. So there was a sort of trust beyond the words. And it's more or less the same. I understand a little more. But when we work on that film, he read the script, said he likes it. But when he saw the dailies, when he came to the editing room, he told me he had like this, I'm afraid, he told me, I'm afraid. It's too painful. And but he stayed on board.
The decisions of destruction and of flight in this film seem to be structured in circles. Could you talk a little bit about this structure?
It was like a choice, I would say, a choice of installation, something to start a new way of working with Jean-Paul Fargeau, my collaborator in script. I told him, let's build maybe block by block, so when we have the first block, we don't go back to it, we progress, so we don't know more than the main character, Marco. More or less, we don't know more, except for the young girl, Link, walking in the street. And I don't know if it was a good idea. I don't know if it works. But it was like you say, step by step. And it was really like step by step. Unless of... Usually I like to go into circle, because it's very reassuring for me to go back to the beginning and to imagine flash forward and things like that normally producers are afraid of. And this time We did it brick by brick, hoping that it will create a good wall, very plain and solid. But I don't know if it worked like that.
Was there anything in the structure that changed radically in the editing room?
The death of Vincent was different, was on the sailing boat, in the sea. She was killing him, but he was falling in the sea instead of falling in the staircase. It was, but then so the budget was not allowing us to do it like that. And there was one scene when he's, after the fight, he goes to a pharmacy to buy some bandage, and that I cut. Otherwise, no.
You have such an economy of dialogue in all of your films. I would like you to talk about the role that dialogue plays in your script and what it actually is supposed to do for us, the viewer.
I have a taste in it's not like a decision, a theoretical decision. I realize that when dialogue is a conversation, I have a tendency to dislike the scene immediately in the script. I think I have a preference for a sort of monologue, like someone monologuing and the other people just nodding, you know. I think monologue is very strong for me. It says a lot. Dialogue sometimes, it's like a jail for me, because I know that it's as if it was designing the breaking of the scene, and I don't want to shoot with 2 cameras or whatever. I don't want to do large shot and then close up. So the freedom of having less pure dialogue and more few dialogue and some monologues is helping me. But maybe it's because I'm not talented. And no, I'm not joking. I think I'm not witty. I'm a very sinister person, you know. No, this is true. So monologue is really something I can go deep in monologues. If I could authorize myself to do only monologues, I would do. No, you know me. You know it's true. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I thought it was a really powerful way to end the film by showing the footage, and not one that I expected. Did you always intend to end the film that way, and why?
The
What was your
end
intention?
footage, huh? The end footage. The question was not a question when we wrote the script. It was in the script. He visited the place at that time, this place empty, and at the end of the film, the sister could see image of the place at night from the camera. And I don't know, in the script it was mandatory for me. I could not imagine not to show some footage of that. Not to be aggressively, I don't know, disgusting or whatever. No, I wanted, it was for me like a real reality of video, which is fake, and it's almost looked like a painting, as if a video was erasing the reality of what's happening. But because its video is for survey, it makes those images more crude in a way. So, and maybe also I should add that the song that Stuart is singing is adding a little horrifying thing to the image. It's like a terror. Bring your love to me, something like that. Is it a good answer, sir? No, you look at me.
Give it a thumbs up.
I wouldn't exactly call any of these characters all that sympathetic, so I want to know how you got your the actors to sort of get into these characters and try to give them, you know, some depth and dimension.
It's something I realized watching TV and reading newspaper. When you have those kind of secret stories in family, I realized that often women in those affairs has the worst part. They are the weakest, they are the cheatest, they are the one who do not protect. They have always a sort of, the guilt is on them always. Of course on men too, but on men it's different. It's their nature. It's their nature. They can't help it, you know. But mothers, sisters, daughter, they are a bitch. No, I'm not joking. I'm really serious, you know. So for me, I really, if I had one character that I would have been able to be, to act, to be an actor, if I was an actress, it would have been the sister. She's my favorite. She's forced to lie, or she's forced to be blind, I think. To respond to that, I think they did more or less understood what I felt. They sort of agree. Also, Chiara, she understood that no one could judge her character because she's living with a rich guy, and like that, I think the character is, she really defends that character. And when she had a choice, she would shoot Marco to protect her son. So I think she's right in a way, you know.
Yeah. Whoever's holding their hand up.
I hate the victimization of women. Always, they are victims, for sure, often. But I don't want a film to give them only pity. I prefer to be fierce with them. I think it's, for me, it's better.
Hello. I saw the actor Vincent Lindon's name as an associate producer. I think I translated it right in the credits. So I was wondering what the creative relationship was between you two, and whether it was more than just a actor-director relationship on set.
I met Vincent when I did Friday Night, almost 10 years ago, and we kept a good relation. And when we start the pre-production of the film, the budget was not complete, the financial was not complete, And Vincent said, okay, don't change, don't postpone, let's start. And I will do it for free. I mean, I will put my salary in the co-production. But in the end, we got the Arte, and so he was paid all right. But we wanted with Vincent Maraval to mark
From Wild Bunch, Vincent Maraval.
Yeah, from Wild Bunch, that if he had not said that, we would have had to postpone. And it was very generous of him. He's a very generous person, generally speaking.
Hello. Getting back to the subject of the images, I often think of the camera as being my eyes when I'm watching a film. In this particular film, I'm very, very close up, almost to the point of being myopic. I mean, it's right in my face. I wonder why you've done that. And I also wonder, because the camera, and when it is my eyes, gives me, as the audience, an identity in some ways. Who do you want me to be while watching this film?
Your question is complex because first I would like to say the camera is not your eye and it's not the eye of the audience. I don't think it's my eyes either. I think there is a sort of it's the film eye. It belongs to the film, the way it's filmed, you know. It's not completely subjective, a film. Not of me, not of you. And I think for me, what the film walk along with the character of Marco, let's say that. So the camera is rather close to him. And because he's the victim in a way, he abandoned everything for his family. But I think also there is something in the story that this huge apartment looks like a tomb, dark, shadowy, and the staircase is like the only place where things can happen. And staircase, it's a narrow place, you know, or elevator. And it's not a place where you are at ease to look at someone. Maybe you can touch, maybe you can smell or feel, but not look from a distance. It's a film made inside an apartment, a building, you know, and not a very nice one, or inside a car, you know. I cannot answer more. I did what I could to make them fragile in the staircase, hostile maybe in the elevator, lost in those big apartments that are also very hostile, in my opinion. That's it.
I think we have the high sign and we have to wrap it up. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Claire.
Thank you very much. This is a digital film. Yeah, it was my first digital film, so also it changed my range a little bit.